There are only 6 days now until Election Day.
Finally.
Senator Raphael Warnock and Senate candidate Herschel Walker are both rallying voters in Georgia today.
That's right. These two political rivals are looking to ramp up support for their candidacies less than 1 week before Election Day. The latest estimate from our CBS News Battleground Tracker, you see it on your screen, it shows a toss-up of 5 Senate seats. At the present moment, Democrats narrowly hold the Senate majority.
Well, joining us now is CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion. Hey there, Nikole. We can see that you're there in Richmond Hill attending Herschel Walker's rally, the big old bus behind you. Tell us, what's the energy like?
Well, obviously, as you see, this rally is just wrapped up, but a very enthusiastic crowd here earlier. We're just out in the Savannah area, and, many of the people who came out in support of Herschel Walker believe that he is the best candidate for the job compared to Senator Raphael Warnock. We have covered a couple of these Walker rallies over the last couple of days, and even in spite of some of the headlines and the latest allegations that have come out against Herschel Walker, these voters that we spoke to say they plan to stand by him.
Been a big Herschel fan since 1980 during the championship, and believe in him, believe he's got good values. And I also think that he's been thrown under the bus for too many times. And
Why do you say that?
Because of all the words that have been said about him that I don't believe it.
The Democrats are taking this country into bankruptcy, and I believe Republicans can bring it back.
So many of these voters that we're speaking to banking on a red wave, of course. Herschel Walker once again making another appeal to voters to try to get out the vote as early voting continues in this state just up until Election Day.
Nikole, it's interesting because you've spent so much time in Georgia. You've helped us really understand the position from each side and how voters, for Republicans specifically, really don't seem fazed by the allegations against Herschel Walker. But why, in your view, is this race still neck and neck, despite each side fighting really hard to get an advantage over the other?
Well, earlier this week we did sit down with the Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock, Walker's opponent, and I asked him that very question because he continues to argue that there is such a stark contrast in this race. And when I asked him why it was so close, one of the things that he said is he kind of spoke to kind of the polarizing nature that we are in this moment in terms of politics, that people wear blue jerseys and red jerseys. And in terms of how he is conducting this race, he feels that there is a contrast between him and his opponent. He pointed to examples where he has tried to work across the aisle. On the other hand, he has pointed to Walker and some of the figures that he has campaigned with in recent weeks. Other Republican members of Congress really suggesting that Walker is being more divisive in his rhetoric and with the types of people that he is bringing out on the trail, and saying that that is one area where there is a contrast. He has also in other campaign events and gaggles with reporters also spoken to Herschel Walker's truthfulness. He thinks that there is a troubling pattern with respect to a lot of these accusations and allegations that have come out. For instance, the latest being a woman coming forward saying that Herschel Walker drove her to an abortion clinic and paid for her abortion. And so again, in Warnock's view, he believes that this again goes to Walker's truthfulness and his pattern of against women and kind of being hypocritical in terms of his positioning. So those are some of the closing arguments in terms of the senator trying to point out those contrasts. But again, we know the headwinds with respect to Republicans across the country, that the momentum appears to be there, that midterm elections don't necessarily always favor the party that's in power. So you've got a lot of, local issues, but also national issues that are affecting this race.
All right there, Nikole Killion, thank you very much.